The effects of immigration on the economy. Introduction. Immigration has been a driving force of economic and cultural growth for centuries. As more people move across borders, they bring with them diverse skills, new perspectives, and fresh labor forces, all of which influence the economy in complex ways. In today's globalized world, immigration is often a subject of intense debate, especially as it relates to job markets, government spending, and economic stability. The effects of immigration on the economy can be both positive and negative, depending on various factors such as the scale of immigrants, the level of integration, and the policies of host countries. In this article, we will explore the effects of immigration on both the macro and microeconomic levels, discussing its impact on labor markets, economic growth, wages, public services, and more. We will also examine the challenges and opportunities that immigration presents to host countries and the global economy as a whole. Immigration and labor markets. One of the most immediate effects of immigration is its influence on the labor market. Immigrants typically join the workforce in a variety of sectors, including agriculture, construction, healthcare, and services. In many countries, immigrants fill labor gaps in industries that face labor shortages. This can be particularly true in sectors that require low-skilled workers, where native-born workers may be less willing to work. However, immigration can also lead to competition in the job market, especially in areas where there are already high levels of unemployment. The impact on wages can vary, with some studies suggesting that immigration has a small downward effect on wages for native workers in low-skilled jobs. On the other hand, highly skilled immigrants tend to create jobs by fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. Immigration and economic growth. Immigration contributes to economic growth by increasing the labor force, which leads to higher production and consumption levels. The influx of immigrants can result in a greater demand for goods and services, which stimulates business activity. This can contribute to the expansion of both the local and national economies. In countries with aging populations, immigrants help mitigate the negative economic impact of demographic changes by providing a younger and more dynamic workforce. Moreover, immigrants often bring entrepreneurial spirit, starting new businesses and creating jobs. Many successful businesses in countries like the United States were founded by immigrants, contributing to both economic growth and job creation. The diversity of ideas and experiences that immigrants bring can also drive innovation, making economies more competitive in a global market. Immigration and public service. Impact of immigration on public services is one of the most debated aspects of the subject. Immigrants often contribute significantly to the tax base by working and paying taxes, which helps fund public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. However, there are concerns that the cost of providing these services to immigrants could be burdensome, particularly if the immigrants require public assistance, such as healthcare or welfare benefits. The net effect on public services depends on the skill level of the immigrants and the fiscal policies of the host country. Highly skilled immigrants who contribute taxes at higher rates tend to benefit public services more than they cost. Conversely, low-skilled immigrants may rely more on public assistance, potentially increasing the strain on social programs. The impact of immigration on wages. The effect of immigration on wages has been a major area of study. In general, research suggests that the impact on wages depends on the skill level of both immigrants and native workers. Highly skilled immigrants such as doctors, engineers, and scientists tend to have a minimal impact on wages because they often complement the native labor force rather than compete with it. For lower skilled workers, however, there is evidence that immigration can slightly depress wages, especially in sectors where immigrants make up a significant portion of the workforce. However, the effect tends to be small, and over the long term, the benefits of immigration, such as increased economic growth, often outweigh any negative impact on wages. Immigration and innovation. Immigrants often play a crucial role in driving innovation within the economy. Many entrepreneurs and inventors come from immigrant backgrounds, contributing to the development of new technologies, industries, and business models. In countries like the United States, a large percentage of technological startups have been founded by immigrants, especially in industries like Silicon Valley. Furthermore, immigrants bring unique perspectives and knowledge from their home countries, which can foster creative thinking and problem solving. In many cases, the cultural diversity that immigrants contribute to the workforce enhances the ability of businesses to cater to global markets and meet the demands of an increasingly interconnected world. Immigrant contributions to social security systems. In countries with social security systems, immigrants contribute to the sustainability of these programs. Since immigrants tend to be younger on average than the native population, they help balance the age demographic of the workforce. In many developed countries, the aging population has put pressure on pension and healthcare systems, as there are fewer working-age individuals to support an increasing number of retirees. By contributing to Social Security through payroll taxes, immigrants help maintain the solvency of these systems. Over time, as immigrants age and retire, they also become beneficiaries of these programs, thus balancing the flow of contributions and payouts. Immigration and housing markets. Influx of immigrants into a region can affect the local housing market. As immigrants settle in a new country, they require housing, which increases demand for both rental and owned properties. In some areas, this has led to a rise in housing prices, especially in cities with high rates of immigration. However, immigrants also contribute to the housing market in other ways. Many immigrants invest in or rent homes in neighborhoods that may have otherwise experienced population decline, revitalizing certain areas. Additionally, immigrants can help boost construction by increasing demand for new homes, which in turn stimulates economic growth and job creation in the housing sector. Immigration and entrepreneurship. Immigrants are more likely to start their own businesses compared to native-born citizens, driven by factors such as the need for economic mobility or the desire to create a space where their skills are in demand. Immigrant-owned businesses can range from small shops and restaurants to tech startups and manufacturing firms. These businesses contribute to local economies by creating jobs, fostering competition, and enhancing the diversity of the marketplace. In the US, immigrant entrepreneurs have been particularly influential in creating jobs. Immigrant-owned businesses employing millions of workers. By promoting a spirit of entrepreneurship, immigrants help drive economic development and create opportunities for both themselves and their communities. Economic impact of refugee immigration. Refugees, often fleeing war or persecution, represent a unique subset of immigration. While the immediate economic impact of refugees' resettlement can be challenging due to the need for government assistance, over time, refugees often integrate into the labor market and contribute to the economic growth. Refugees may initially require language training, job placement services, and healthcare, but they can also be highly motivated to work and contribute to society. In countries like Germany and Canada, refugees have successfully integrated into the labor force and contributed to economic growth. While there may be short-term costs associated with their resettlement, the long-term benefits of refugee immigration are significant, particularly when refugees fill labor gaps or contribute to innovation and entrepreneurship. The role of immigrants in demographic balance. In countries with low birth rates and aging populations, immigration plays a critical role in maintaining demographic balance. A younger immigrant population helps offset the decline in the native population, which is crucial for maintaining the labor force and supporting social welfare programs. Countries like Japan, Italy and several European nations are facing demographic challenges that may require greater reliance on immigration to sustain their economies in the future. By maintaining a steady influx of young immigrants, countries can mitigate the negative economic effects of an aging population, such as labor shortages and increased healthcare costs. Immigration and economic inequality. The economic effects of immigration are not always evenly distributed. In some cases, the influx of immigrants can exacerbate income inequality, particularly in areas where there is already significant economic disparity. Low-skilled immigrants may compete with low-income native workers for jobs, potentially leading to wage stagnation or job displacement for the most vulnerable segments of the population. However, the overall impact of inequality depends on various factors, including the skills of immigrants, the structure of the economy, and the effectiveness of government policies aimed at promoting inclusion and integration. Immigrants can also contribute to reducing inequality by supporting economic growth, which can create jobs and lift people out of poverty. Impact of immigration on consumer demand. Immigration increases the demand for goods and services, as immigrants, like any other consumers, require food, clothing, transportation, and entertainment. This increased consumer demand can have a positive effect on the economy by driving production and boosting business activity. Retailers, service providers, and manufacturers all benefit from the increased demand generated by immigration. Moreover, immigrants often bring diverse tastes and preferences, which can spur innovation and encourage businesses to expand their offerings to meet new needs. The long-term impact of immigration on national economies. Over the long term, immigration tends to have a net positive effect on national economies. Immigrants contribute to economic growth, innovation, and productivity, which can lead to higher living standards for everyone. They help address labor shortages, boost public finances through taxes, and contribute to the cultural and social fabric of their host countries. Research consistently shows that the overall economic benefits of immigration outweigh the costs, particularly when immigrants are integrated into the labor market and society. The long-term sustainability of many economies depends, in part, on the continued flow of immigration to offset demographic trends and maintain a dynamic, competitive workforce. Conclusion. Immigration is a complex phenomenon with significant economic consequences. While it may pose challenges in certain areas, such as public services and labor market competition, the long-term benefits often outweigh those concerns. Immigrants contribute to economic growth, innovation, and job creation, all of which help strengthen national economies. Moreover, immigration can play a crucial role in addressing demographic imbalances, fostering entrepreneurship, and ensuring the sustainability of social welfare systems. To maximize the economic benefits of immigration, host countries must develop effective policies that support integration, protect workers' rights, and ensure that immigration complements existing labor market needs. By doing so, nations can create an inclusive, dynamic economy that benefits everyone, regardless of their place or origin.